Day number two, and we're going to jump into a controversial topic just because here recently in Mississippi, there was the Personhood Act, which tried to go through, which was an even stronger act than previous ones that are trying to legalize abortion. The Personhood Act would actually make it to where at the moment of conception, you no longer can do anything. You have to have the baby. But under that, it would make a lot of other things illegal to either help prevent it or with like in vitro fertilization. It made doctors like if doctors were to do that, it would make them afraid because if it didn't take and the baby died, they could technically be held liable for murder. So gladly it didn't pass by, but it was only didn't pass by a 16% margin. And I say that because eventually when they keep pushing and they keep getting more people on their side, they keep talking about this, they're gonna find an area to where that 16% is gonna grow smaller and smaller, and it's finally gonna get passed through, and it's gonna get a lot more traction than it has now. That's another reason why I want to make this video, because before it fully ever gets passed anywhere else, because it has been passed, but that's another story. Sorry, tangent. Before it does get passed in any way, I want to put this out there for more people to think, for more people to know and stuff like that. And for you to know, you need to have a little history lesson beforehand. It also helps you understand where I'm coming from. Now, abortions were made illegal in the 1880s here in America, and that was because the only way to have an abortion or terminate your pregnancy was to have a doctor give you medicine, which was basically poison, or they would go up in you to abort the baby. And both these ways would either irreparably damage a woman or kill them, and mostly kill them. And because of this, basically, we were like, no, we can't be doing this to kill women because you're killing basically both at the same time. So they made it illegal. So you flash forward all the way to before Roe v. Wade, and because before Roe v. Wade, medicine had caught up to a point where abortions could be given safely. But because it was illegal, guess what things women were using to terminate their pregnancies? Poisons and having back alley ones where they would do a surgery that wasn't really a surgery. And basically they would either get irreparably harmed up internally or they would die. So, and the thing was more and more women were getting pregnant because back in that day, either under some form of modesty or something like that, women who were not married were not even given the choice to get contraceptives or even be informed about them. And because of this, I mean, basically they were just having unprotected sex, and it was a higher probability to get pregnant. So Roe v. Wade came along, made it legal again to have this happen. And now we come to today. And with today, I mean, the people who are basically against abortions, unfortunately have this umbrella act. Like, their acts are umbrellas. They cover every kind. And you can't do that because abortions are out there to help in their own way. I mean, and here is that side. The side for helping is basically like women who are having a pregnancy in which the baby might actually kill the mother and might even die itself on the way out, which would end two lives, and also the fact of just ending one life before a life is fully formed. They want to basically terminate the pregnancy to save the mother. And in that respect, I mean, that's perfectly logical. At the same time, other birth defects happen to where, unfortunately, the baby dies during pregnancy. And I would have no idea how that feels to carry something not alive anymore that was before, but I would fully understand wanting to, sorry, it's weird for me to say it, but that's another one that should be under that umbrella to have an abortion for. The other two it doesn't cover is incest and rape. And why it doesn't makes me kind of wonder about these people, because for one, incest is just a horrible, incest and rape both are horrible acts that shouldn't happen. They're both different in their own regards, but at the same time, if a woman, or unfortunately in either case a girl, and let's say girl being like 18 or under, gets pregnant under these causes, I just can't imagine what it's like to have a daily reminder of an act that you didn't want to happen to you. That was just horrible in nature, and just I don't know how else to explain it. And to carry that and to carry a living thing that's an embodiment of that for 9 months and then to give life and then have to care for it in any way or anything like that. I mean, I just can't understand that, and I would understand why they would want to go and get an abortion for that. And I think that should be there. That should be there for these women and girls that this happens to. They're the ones that abortion should be legal for. Now, at the same time, if I was to put an act like this through, those who shouldn't be able to are those who know the risks and do it anyways. And what I mean by that is you go out and you go to a party or you do whatever, and both parties, men and women, do the thing, and boom, they get pregnant because either they didn't use contraceptives, they used it and it didn't work, you had the morning after pill and that didn't take. I mean, there's just a lot of things out there to prevent it, and for some reason, either they don't use them, or, you're part of that 0.0201% where it doesn't work for you. And I just don't think that an abortion should be their way out of a mistake. People should be held accountable for their actions in that way, in that respect. You know the risks. You know what you're getting into when you do this. You don't have to do it. But you do anyways, and you get pregnant from it. You shouldn't have an out, I guess is the way to say it. It just shouldn't be there for you. I'm sorry, but I don't think, like I said, held accountable for your actions. In some cases, you can take this baby 9 months later, and there are families out there who cannot have babies and want to have a child of their own to raise. Give it to them. See the movie Juno. Anybody out there, do that. It won't be the same way, but you know what I mean. But at the same time, some of them carry it full term, keep the baby, and they turn out to be moms that are really great. Because, when you grow with something for 9 months, you have this connection with it. And I just don't think that they should have a right to, the same right as the other category that I talked about, and I don't know what to label it or anything, but I don't think these two should be in the same pile because they're completely separate in their reasons for doing it. And this is what I mean. That's my compromise. If you want to pass the act through to make it illegal to those who shouldn't do it, to those who don't really deserve to, but still keep it legal for those who need it. That's just basic common sense. That's all my piece for this. Of course, put your comments down below. I'm expecting to, when people start viewing these, to get a lot of them, either for or against, or to tell me I'm an idiot or hate me. I'm expecting it, and I already know that because it's a very controversial topic. But until next time, see you.